Hello, all. My name is Reggie Gatson, and I'm here today to talk to you about financial literacy and retirement. Did you know that over 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, including half of the folks who earn six figures or more? Did you know that the average 60-year-old has about $172,000 saved for retirement? Also, Fidelity Investments estimates that the average 65-year-old retired couple should expect to spend about $300,000 over the course of healthcare, over the course of their retirement on healthcare, and that about 50% of women age 55 to 66 have no personal retirement savings, compared to 47% of men. So I hope some of those numbers are shocking. And why I'm here to talk to you about this topic today is it hits home for me personally. My parents didn't know much about this topic, if anything, and they worked very hard during their lifetime and didn't have very much to show for it at the end of retirement. Like all parents, they wanted to help take care of their kids, but they really couldn't do so. And it was up to us to really venture out and do better for ourselves. I myself worked in the financial services arena for over 20 plus years, and it took me quite a bit of time as well to get versed in some of these topics. And I think it's important to share that so that people are able to start earlier based off my story and my ability to be able to turn things around for my family. So let's start the conversation really by taking a look at the current state of retirement savings. If you look at the chart on the left, which has retirement savings by age group broken down into three sections, you'll see that take age 55 to 64 as an example. It looks as if there's about $400,000 on average being saved by the average individual in the United States. Now that can be a little misleading, although 400,000 is not a lot to sneeze at. That's an average number. The median number, on the other hand, is under $150,000, which basically means more than half, just about half of the individuals, in this survey have less than $150,000 saved at that age. And when you take into account my earlier comment in the prior slide that about $300,000 in retirement savings for healthcare is required by the average couple over 65, it just doesn't balance out with all the other expenses you have to cover in retirement. And then if you take a quick peek over to the right and just look at the average estimated annual healthcare per person, you can see at the ages, it just continues to go up and up and up. And this is an annual number that obviously over time continues to add up. When you talk about an average of potentially, in the $5,000 to $6,000 per year in healthcare being budgeted, that becomes quite a bit to be concerned about as you move along, in your retirement. Now, switching gears just a bit, and I'll speak a little bit about why I feel that financial literacy is important. And financial literacy, explained, is the ability to understand and make use of a variety of financial skills. Some of the basics of financial literacy, includes, practical applications in everyday life. It includes banking, budgeting, handling debt and credit, and investing. Uh, and it's been found that those with higher levels of financial literacy are more likely to spend less of their income, create an emergency fund, and open retirement accounts more so than those with lower levels. And what I like to say here is financial literacy, it becomes a scary thing to some, but when you think about it, it's just really learning about how to manage your money. I'm still so unsure why this is not something that's taught in college classes today, or even high school classes. But if you look at the charts I have here on the left hand side, really talking about student loan debt, some of what all of us can relate to. And you can see how high the student debt is by age group still within the US. It's something that many people feel that you need to complete a degree, but sometimes the costs are just so heavy upon us. So understanding how to take those loans, make sure they get paid off, and finding the right loans, quite frankly, is something financial literacy can help with. But then also, if you look to the right, you can see that a third of Americans have more credit card debt than they do savings. So it is said that over about 60% of US households would not be able to absorb $1,000 emergency with the savings in their existing accounts, meaning that a lot of people don't have quite money saved. And not that that's the easiest thing to do, but just what I'm trying to do here is bring awareness around the fact that it's something that we should be focused on and something that we should pay attention to, so that we're making sure that we're moving in the right directions in terms of making sure that we're prepared for our future. Next, let me just move on to retirement planning. And retirement planning is something that in my opinion, you start extremely early. I think one of the traps we have is people depend on Social Security. People are thinking, hey, when I hit 60, I'm going to be set, I'm going to get a lot of money. Social Security does not pay a ton of money, and Social Security, quite frankly, isn't guaranteed. It's certainly backed by the government, but who's to know in 20, 30, 40 years when we reach retirement age that facility will still be available to us. And also, Social Security amount you pay depends on how much you put in as you work, as you see on the chart on the left, and also how long you wait to start collecting. Someone collecting at age 62 will receive a lot less per month than someone receiving money at the age of 70. There's really no specified age to start retirement savings, but you should really start as early as possible. And compounding is one of the biggest reasons why. If you look at the infographic on the right, you'll see that someone who starts investing much earlier, a smaller amount, will end up with very much more than someone who starts investing later. It basically is because the concept of compounding means as you invest your money or deposit your money in a compounding account, the money that you interest that you earn off that money, that then becomes the number that you receive interest from going forward. So you'll begin to actually earn money on the money you've just earned previously, rather than letting your money sit and being outpaced by inflation. So it's just very something important to learn and to have in our toolkit. Just in closing, I just hope that some of the information I provided leads some folks to really look into this topic and begin early. And again, it doesn't take $1 million to start. It 10, 20, $100 a month can really start you on your journey to prepare for retirement, but also just learning and understanding how to do the everyday things the right way to help prepare you best for your retirement years can be extremely helpful. I hope that this was helpful to some of you folks, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.